The night feels different this time. Not quiet, not tense, but heavy with expectation, like something invisible is about to reveal itself, and the creator sits there staring at the dashboard, not refreshing out of desperation anymore, but observing with a strange calm, because somewhere along the way, the chaos has started to make sense. The numbers are no longer random spikes and drops. They are patterns, behaviors, reactions, and behind those patterns lies a truth that most never reach. The journey to the YouTube Partner Program is not about crossing a line, it's about understanding why that line exists in the first place. Because now, the creator sees something they couldn't see before, that every view is a decision, every second watched is a choice, and every click is a moment of trust given by someone who could have chosen anything else. And platforms like YouTube are built to measure exactly that trust, to reward content that respects it, and quietly ignore content that wastes it. And suddenly, the game feels less like competition and more like responsibility. There's a shift in energy here, a subtle but powerful transition from chasing numbers to understanding people. Because numbers don't tell stories, people do, and behind every metric is a human reaction: curiosity, boredom, excitement, disappointment. And the creator begins to realize that mastering this system is not about manipulating the algorithm, but about understanding the psychology of the viewer. And this realization changes everything, because now content is no longer created in isolation. It's created with intention, with awareness, with a clear understanding of what the audience feels at every moment. The opening isn't just an intro anymore, it's a hook designed to interrupt scrolling. The middle isn't just information, it's a journey designed to maintain engagement. And the ending isn't just a conclusion, it's a moment designed to leave an impression strong enough to bring the viewer back. But with this deeper understanding comes a new challenge: the fear of losing it. Because once you know what works, the pressure to keep it working becomes intense. Every upload feels like it has to meet a certain standard. Every idea is judged more critically, and the freedom that once made creating enjoyable begins to feel like a responsibility you can't escape. And yet, this pressure is not a weakness. It's a sign of growth, a reflection of how far the creator has come, because it means they care, it means they understand the stakes, it means they're no longer creating blindly. But the real test is learning how to manage that pressure without letting it control you. Because control is the key at this stage, not control over the algorithm, but control over your process, your mindset, your consistency. The ability to keep creating even when results fluctuate, to stay focused even when growth slows down, to maintain quality even when motivation dips. And this kind of control doesn't come naturally. It's built through discipline, through repetition, through the decision to show up even when it's difficult. And then comes a moment that feels almost surreal. The numbers finally align, the requirements are met, and for the first time, the goal that once felt distant is now directly in front of you. But instead of celebration, there's a pause. A quiet reflection, because deep down, the creator knows that reaching this point was never just about the numbers. It was about the late nights, the failed attempts, the moments of doubt, the constant learning, the gradual improvement. It was about becoming someone who could navigate uncertainty and still keep moving forward. And in that realization, the milestone feels less like an achievement and more like a transformation. But the story doesn't end here, it evolves, because applying for the YouTube Partner Program introduces a new layer of uncertainty, one that feels different from everything before. This is no longer about performance metrics, it's about evaluation, about meeting standards that go beyond numbers, about proving that your content is not just engaging, but also compliant, original, and sustainable. And in this waiting phase, time feels slower, heavier, more intense. Every notification feels important, every email carries weight, and the creator is left in a space where there is nothing to do but wait. And in that waiting, a deeper question begins to surface. Not, will I get accepted? But am I truly ready for what comes next? Because acceptance is not just a reward, it's a responsibility, a shift into a new level of the game where expectations are higher, competition is stronger, and consistency becomes more important than ever. And those who enter this phase unprepared often struggle, not because they lack talent, but because they underestimate the demands of what comes after. But those who understand, those who have used the journey not just to reach the goal but to prepare for it, they step into this new phase with clarity, with confidence, with a mindset that is ready to adapt, to evolve, to continue learning even when they've already achieved what once seemed impossible. And that's where the real difference is made. Not in reaching the YouTube Partner Program, but in how you carry yourself after you do, in whether you treat it as an endpoint or a beginning, in whether you continue growing or start becoming comfortable. Because comfort is the quiet enemy of progress, and in a system that constantly changes, standing still is the same as moving backward. And the creators who understand this, who remain curious, who continue refining their craft, who never assume they've figured it all out, they are the ones who don't just enter the system, they thrive within it. So as this chapter closes, one truth becomes clear. The journey was never about unlocking monetization, it was about unlocking potential. And if that potential continues to grow, if that mindset continues to evolve, then the path ahead is not something to fear, it's something to master. One upload, one decision, one moment at a time.